Hello everyone. Today is the second lecture in the series, the interest rate swap lectures, and the lecturer Gary Wang. And today I'm going to introduce the decentralized interest rate swap. And this lecture is sponsored by Hacker Dōjō, Foxtech Foundation, Wave Network, and THUBA. Hacker Dōjō is an open source community for frontier Web3 knowledge contributors and learners built by hackers. Dōjō organized regular open source knowledge sessions via livestream or Twitter space or blog posts. The topics include the interpretation of Web3 cutting-edge technology papers, workshops, seminars with crypto tech leaders, and so on. Welcome to discuss and learn in the Hacker Dōjō community at following this website. By joining Hacker Dōjō, hackers can suggest personal learning expectations or take the initiative to propose topics that they are skilled at and have Dōjō team organizes sharing sessions. At the same time, the Hacker Dōjō Web3 research program offers subjects regularly for hackers to study and share their insights. Contributors will be rewarded in the form of a bounty. Please scan this QR code to join Hacker Dōjō Telegram group. Cool. And the topics currently shared by Hacker Dōjō includes novel mempool protocol and task consensus protocol, bullshot consensus protocol, modular chain, cryptography, and more proof-related contents. This lecture is also sponsored by Fox. Fox is a ZK EVM-based ZK for the whole Web3, and sponsored by Wave Network, a zero-knowledge omni-chain interoperation network. And I'm the lecturer, Gary Wang, and I'm a senior student at Yale University. I'm also the co-founder of Foxtech Foundation and Wave Network. I will share my contact information at the end of this lecture. And please feel free to discuss with me about technical problems about DeFi, zero-knowledge proofs, how to fund a business, and anything related to Web3. Cool. So let's begin our lecture. So we'll first present you with another interest rate swap protocol, following by what we have discussed in the previous lecture, that is the Aave protocol and the Element.5 protocol, Element Finance. So today, our first protocol to discuss is Swivel. Swivel is in many ways similar to the Element 5 Finance protocol in the previous lecture. However, it uses an order book instead of an automated market maker, where they use when this aims to like trade the notional tokens or the yield tokens with the other tokens. So let's have a look at it. So basically, Swivel enables wider market participation by providing the capital-efficient infrastructure and professional trading interface necessary for tokenized cash flows. And the right figure is what's on Swivel's homepage. So it's as you can see, it's a simplified like trading window, and also we can select the professional trading window if you like to. So currently Swivel is on the mainnet, the Ethereum mainnet, and you can trade it for interest rates such as the DAI, USDC, and other such as Curve, Ethereum, and the other tokens, as long as there's a pool on Swivel, so you can trade it. So how does Swivel work? Firstly, Swivel deposits your tokens into yield-generating protocols. That is similar to Element Finance, right? So let us recap. So in Element Finance, the protocol first let the user deposit some tokens such as USDC into this protocol. Then it deposits the user's USDC into the underlying yield-generating protocols such as Aave, Yarn, or the other protocols to generate yield. However, the underlying protocols interest rate is floating. So basically, how does it like achieve stable rate is to separate the separate the deposit token into two different tokens. That is the P tokens and Y tokens in element finance. And in Swivel protocols that we are discussing now, they are called like the ZC token and the N token. So ZC token is the abbreviation for zero coupon tokens. So this represents the initial deposit and can be redeemed 1-to-1. So for example, when you deposit 1,000 tokens and after the pool expiration date, so the 1,000 ZC tokens can be redeemed 1-to-1 to 1,000 the original USDC. And the other token, N token, is the notional token, represent the notional tokens. So they are the yield. They represent the yield generated by the yield generating protocols. So after the expiration date of the fundamental protocol, so they can be like redeemed or for the yield. So can see like so
Hi Gary，有一些卡。
and hopefully it is fixed by now. Sure, cool. So let's continue our last slide. So similar to element finance, Swivel deposit your tokens such as USDC into the yield generating protocol such as and element finance, if you remember, split this USDC token into two different tokens, the principal token and the yield token, the PTs and the YTs. And so similar to element 5, Swivel does the similar thing. So you receive two tokens exchange of your deposits. The ZC token, that is the abbreviation for zero coupon tokens, and it is 1-to-1 redeemable after the expiration date of the pool. And also the N token represents the yield generated by the underlying yield generating protocol after the period. So all of these are similar and quite similar to element finance. So what's different? But before talking about that, so Swivel has two exchange modes. The first one is called fixed yield. So if you sell the ZC tokens, you can redeem the USDC in advance. And if you buy the ZC tokens with your original USDC token, you can in an equivalent way get fixed yield. That is similar to element finance. And the amplified yield is also similar. So you can exchange like your ZC token, your principal tokens for the N tokens, that is the notional tokens that represent the yield. So you can exchange these two tokens by iteratively selling the ZC tokens after a deposit for the original USDC or the other original tokens, and buy the N token, and you can leverage your N token by up to 100% if the exchange rate for this token is about 10-to-9. Yeah, that is a similar idea to element finance and the similar trading mode. So what's different? So Swivel uses another trading model other than element finance. So it uses an order book. For example, if Alice has 1,000 USDC, Alice fills Bob's order and splitting the 1,000 USDC into 1,000 ZC token and 1,000 N tokens. And Alice sells the 1,000 N token to Bob for 50 USDC. And then Alice has 1,000 ZC USDC, and at maturity, Alice will have 1,050 USDC if she sells her N tokens in total and only keep her ZC token. So That is the first thing you can do with these tokens. And the second thing you can do about N token is that Swivel also built an order book with N tokens and the original USDC. For example, Bob has original 1,000 USDC, and Bob fills Charlie's order for 1,000 USDC, and in turn receive 50 USDC. So Bob would have like a 50 USDC with any accrued interest previously, since he holds the N token position for some time. So he will have accrued interest if he holds the N token positions. And the major difference between Element Finance and Swivel is the difference between AMM and Automated Market Maker and Order Book. So if there are X users who in an AMM in Automated Market Maker, if there are X users who like to sell Ethereum or ETH and buy USDC, and Y counterparty users would like to buy USDC, sell ETH, and the number of tokens on both sides. Users on both sides and the bids are different. So the decentralized exchanges will record two parties in an order book according to the principle of the bid level to time sequence, matching a proper two-way transaction. So to determine the price of two assets by a constant function, that is X times Y equals to a constant. So that is what happens in an automated market maker. So in an order book, things are different. The decentralized exchanges will provide liquidity pool. So in an automated market maker, there are three major advantages. That's why platforms such as Uniswap, SushiSwap are so prevalent at DeFi, but other books are not. That is, automated market maker saves gas fee. So at each swap, you need only to calculate the constant function. That is, the X times Y equals a constant. So you can derive how much token you will receive, as long as you calculate the outcome of this function, which is very simple. So this calculation saves a lot of gas fee compared with the traditional order book in traditional finance, other than decentralized finance. And also automated market maker, since the function is simpler, so it's easier to view by users. And also it provides easier and better liquidity on these platforms, on the automated market maker platforms, because we need only to have people deposit money into the liquidity pool and do not need people to constantly provide liquidity in an order book by making orders in the market. So there are better liquidity in the market, in the automated market maker markets. And conversely, in the order books, so it is more traditional. It has the following two advantages compared with automated market maker. The first one is that the order book will provide better prices and consequently lower slippage. This is because when you make a market, the makers of the market will provide the prices more precisely than the constant function provided by AMMs. So the prices are better for the takers of the order book. And also there are no impairment loss for the liquidity providers. That is, when the prices relative to two tokens change, the AMM's liquidity provider may suffer from some losses. We'll come to this point later. So, because of all the differences, so why does Swivel choose an order book instead of an AMM? Let me give you an example following by this graph. Although AMMs are effective at bootstrapping liquidity for new markets, they provide even the least informed market participant an easy way to contribute liquidity. Simplified bootstrapping comes with a major trade-offs, such as in the spot markets, the primary trade-off is the capital efficiency, as the most popular AMMs are constant product market makers, the CPMM. All the other like curve that provide CFMMs, the functions are a little bit different than x times y equals to some constants. This means that at any even given point, very little capital is allocated at market prices. So also that is intuition of Uniswap version 3. So if like the price deviates from the current price, which is represented by the figure on the left-hand side, we have that there will be losses for the liquidity providers. So optimized CFMMs have improved spot markets with modified liquidity formulas. Others like yield, notional element, and pendulum have innovated to account for time-based appreciation decay for the cash flow tokens. Yes, these innovations have set a great baseline for further development, but still leave deterrents to inform market participants. A yield token is worse. Its projected future yield. However, as rates and rate volatility changes, this projected future yield changes, and the yield token prices remain the same or become stale. The result is constantly stale price and suboptimal liquidity provision. The figures on the right represents the like the income of the liquidity providers. If this, so as you can see, almost the majority of the liquidity providers has suffered from some losses because of the change of the price, the change of relative price. Yes, they suffer from losses. AMMs to earn some money, to earn some yield. So if they do not take any other hedging actions to counter this effect. Fixed rate markets also suffer from this slippage problem. That is, they have the issues with slippage on large orders. With just a $500 order leading to a 15 to 30%. So that's maybe also the problem with element finance. That is, when you single order on the AMMs, you receive less token than you have anticipated, and you would refuse to accept this amount of slippage. And Swivel, Oxys, gasless trades. Market orders may be free in the future as well. Yes, they tackle with slippage with the limit orders on the order book. So with this features, the transaction costs, integrating if there will be 3 to 6 the traditional order book to 2 like units of an automated market maker if you so it somehow counters the weakness of the order book implementation. And also a user can place a limit order with paying for the order or approvals. This is because when you place limit order, they interact with the smart contract. The platform would interact with the smart contract for you. Yes. So if the market condition never reaches the limit orders condition, it will not be triggered and no gas fee will be induced. Cool. And also, across all cash flow tokenization protocols, the N tokens and the ZC tokens are priced according to the following formula. That is, the N tokens price plus the ZC tokens price equals the price of one USDC. So taking USDC as an example, this means that at any point in time, if a user knows the price of one N token, they can identify the price of one ZC token in the underlying. Or otherwise, it will be like arbitrage opportunities. So Swivel's order book accommodates for this implied pricing, allowing for one single order book to serve users selling both N token and ZC tokens. That is, the Swivel protocol can at a 100% increase in capital efficiency when compared to two separate AMM pools, because these two tokens are priced given this formula. So we need only one, like one order book only, compared with the Element Finance, two different AMMs, two different market makers. Yes, so that's plus 100% capital efficiency. Cool. So we have discussed the difference between Swivel Finance and Element Finance. So the difference between two similar but mostly similar interest rate swap protocols. Before we come to the other interest rate swap protocols ideas, let me introduce you to some other like concepts that is really important in decentralized finance and Web3 finance. The first concept is about leverage trading. And leverage trading means that we need to trade or invest with borrow funds as main capital outlay. So we may only provide some margin compared with providing the whole funds, because we may want better capital efficiency. Yes, so financial leverage is the act of borrowing the sum to trade on investing an asset or market in the hopes that making a profit. So when you would like to trade stocks, if you trade on just vanilla and plain stocks, you will buy one stock and pay some money for it if you long the stock. And if you to short the stock, you may just sell the stock on the market, place a selling order, and just take your money back with some profit or losses. Yet when you would like to trade the leverage stocks, for example, this would mean you open a position with a broker and loaning most of the position value amount. Yes, you make a loan when you make a leverage trading position. This is because you do not supply the full funds for the stock. If you buy one stock, you may only, for example, if you trade Tesla stocks with worth 1,000 pounds, you may only have to pay 200 pounds. That is 5 times leverage, because 1,000 is 5 times a pound from a broker. And the leverage ratio is 20% or 5 times leverage. So you may be confused that how can you buy 1,000 pound stock with only this in its value? So you may make a lot of money because the leverage is 5%. For example, if the Tesla stock is really, so you may earn 5 times the 20%, that is 100%. Yeah, you may 5 times your income, that is double the value of the Tesla's 200 pounds to 400 pounds. This margin provides you with increased exposure to another. Essentially, you're putting down a fraction of the full value of your trade, and your provider is loaning you the rest. That is, your broker is loaning you the rest, is borrowing the rest of the 800 pound to you. Although you're only paying a small percentage of the full trade's value upfront, your total profit or loss will be calculated on the full position size. Yes, you will. If the stock price rises, you would like to have exposure to 5 times the increase of the value. And if however, on the other hand, if the price of the stocks drops, you will suffer 5 times more losses. Then you plainly buys the stock with the whole 1,000 pound value. So some may ask that if the stock value loses more than 200 pounds, so you only provides 200 pounds margin in the previous example, and you would hold a position of a total of 1,000 pounds. If the stock's value drops from 1,000 pounds to 800 pounds, or even 700 pounds, you own 100 pounds to the broker. This is because the broker does nothing but borrowing the money to you, and you need to pay the money back. So when you sell the stock at 700 pounds in total value, when the original price is 1,000 pounds, you will suffer from another 100 pound loss in the total value. But the broker is not happy with this situation, because he borrows you some money, but he is not you are not repaying the full values back to him. This is maybe you are not able to, not that you not want to. The so-called liquidation refers to a situation in which the client's equity in the investor's margin account is negative under certain special conditions, such as the previous condition that the position's value falls by too large margin. So when the market situation changes greatly, if the majority of the funds in the margin account of the investors are occupied by the trading margin, and the trading direction is opposite to the market trend due to the leverage effect of margin trading, it's easy to become liquidated. To become liquidated is that the position is no longer valid, and the broker may sell the stock immediately and take back all the borrowed assets. Yes, you will lose everything if your asset is liquidated, or maybe with some remaining assets, but that is really not your desired thing. For example, if you have like 100,000 US dollars in cash, and I use 100,000 US dollars outside the value to allocate capital at 4 times leverage, so the capital increases to 400,000 US dollars, of which 300,000 US dollars are borrowed money. When I use this position to buy a stock, unfortunately, after the purchase, stock price keeps falling and the loss reaches 25%. So the 100,000 US dollars principal loss. It means that the position is liquidated and need to be liquidated. So after introducing the leverage trading and the liquidation, we can come to a very important trading mode existing in Web3 and in token trading, in centralized exchanges, in decentralized exchanges. That is called perpetual swap. A perpetual swap is an increasingly popular way to trade Bitcoin and other tokens, such as Ethereum, and whatever exists in market, you can trade perpetual swap. This is because it allows investors to buy and sell the value of Bitcoin without having to own any Bitcoin, or without having to own the majority value of the Bitcoin. Perpetual swaps do not expire or do not have a settlement date. So this is different with like the other futures. They do not require any trading of the underlying assets, because it is in the first hand, it is a derivative trading mode. So it's the perpetual swaps are easier to short. The assets are easier to short in perpetual swaps than to short the original assets in the second order markets. So why do so many people fancy perpetual swap? This is because almost all trading in financial markets revolves around expectations. Different expectations of the future lead to attitude towards financial products. For example, the person who long Bitcoin or long Ethereum choose to buy the stock or choose to buy the token now, and the short person choose to sell now. The most important point is that we need to have a market-proven product that can live up to our expectations. Perpetual swap is an excellent solution, because with perpetual swap, we prevent the issue of product maturity. There's no expiration date. So you can hold the position anytime you want. Compared to traditional futures, there may be some expiration dates. You have to sell the token or sell the stock or sell any kind of form of assets by the expiration dates. So in perpetual swap, there are no expiration dates, and they never mature. We can build a market around this product, allowing both parties with different opinions to trade for profit or loss. And here summarize the advantages of perpetual swaps as follows. Firstly, there are no expiry dates to a position. You can hold it as long as you want, no matter it is a long position or short position, as long as you pay the borrowing fee and the other funding fee that I'll introduce later. And the second merit is that the underlying asset itself is never traded. There are no custody issues compared with the other futures, such as oil futures, gold futures. You may need to pay some custody fees. And the third merit is that the swap price is closely tracks the price of underlying assets, although it is a derivative, and the price and the perpetual swap very cleverly designed a mechanism to keep track of the underlying assets price. That is called the funding rate mechanism. So let's consider two scenarios. So there are two different conditions in the perpetual swap market compared with the original underlying assets market, second order market. The first scenario is that the perpetual swap trades above the price of the underlying, which is the green area. So the price is above the underlying, and this means that there are more people willing to long the assets than to short the assets. And the long traders will pay short traders in this case because they are the majority. The long traders are the majority, so they need to pay back to the short traders, and this incentivizing buying and incentivizing selling lowers the perpetual swap price to fall in line with the underlying assets. This is because when long traders see that they need to pay a funding fee, they are not willing to do so, and more people and more positions may be open in the short, and more positions may be closed in the long side. And on the other hand, if the perpetual swap trades price, the index price falls below the price of the underlying asset, the spot price, it means that more people are shorting the assets in the perpetual swap market than longing the assets. And thus, the funding rate will be negative. This means that short traders will pay long traders, which disincentivizes selling and incentivizes buying, and raises the perpetual swap price to fall in line with the underlying asset. So these two examples discusses that we need to either long traders will pay short traders, or short traders will pay long traders, as long as there are discrepancy between the prices of the perpetual swap market and the original underlying assets market. And the rate of this paying is generally oscillates somewhere between the range of negative 0.25% and to positive 0.025%. And this may vary from protocol to protocol and vary from different perpetual swap platforms. But they're basically falling this range, because otherwise the funding rate will be too high or too low. So this range implies that average funding period, for example, the most protocols take the funding period to be 8 hours. A trader who had a Bitcoin perpetual swap position worth $100,000 will either pay or receive funding fee of $25 per 8 hours. Yes, that's comparatively not very low, yet not very high funding fee. It is acceptable, and the funding fee is not taken by the platform, but only to compensate the long traders or short traders to incentivize or disincentivize buying or selling. So the important takeaway is that a perpetual swap fundamentally stays in line by balancing supply and demand by paying an interest rate. This interest rate is the funding rate. So DYDX is an example of perpetual swap, and it is also acting on decentralized platforms and on a chain that is the Ethereum mainnet and the the Arbitrum, layer 2. So the funding rate calculation on dydx simplified is given by the gamma times index price minus spot price. The index price means the price in the perpetual swap market, and the spot price means the price of the underlying asset in the other second order markets. So as you can see in this figure, so the market in perpetual swap, the dydx perpetual swap platform is the volume is very large. So basically the volume, the trading volume each day is more than one, is around 500 million. And sometimes it will even go beyond 1 billion or 10 billion in some some period, during some period when the trading volume is very high. So this is a snapshot of the dydx perpetual swap market, and you can see the index price, that is the price that is currently happening. The current happening with some lag. This has lag. The current price is 16K. This is the index price, means the price of the current perpetual swap market. The oracle price means the price that is on the other second order markets. And the funding rate can be calculated given by this formula, and the gamma is just a coordinate which is fixed. Yes. So the dydx has provided us with this statistics graph, and we can see that the mechanism design of the funding rate is very successful for perpetual swap protocols. And the average funding rate for both the long side and the short side are close to 0. This means that no matter which side you are on, the total amount of funding rate you receive is always close to 0, with some fluctuation between markets. Yes. So this is today's lecture, and sorry for the lag during this lecture. And we'll have our next lecture is about 3 different topics. The first is about leverage trading on interest rate swap and the VOZ protocol. And the third topic is about perpetual interest rate swap trading. Thank you, and these are my contacts. You can contact me via email, via Telegram, or WeChat, and please feel free to reach out. At last, please welcome the Hacker Dōjō welcome hackers to donate to bounties. So the Hacker Dōjō will release bounties according to community proposals, and please join Hacker Dōjō Telegram channel to know more information. And please join Hacker Dōjō for more tech talks. This QR code is the Chinese official group, and this is the Telegram handle of the Hacker Dōjō Telegram, and this is the email of Hacker Dōjō. Yeah, thank you, and this is all for today's lecture.